Good morning 10th standard. Welcome to the online classes of Winner Small Wonder Secondary School. This is Sanchita, your SST teacher, and today we are going to go back and read the topic once again. And we are doing what? We are actually doing the chapter of economics. It's the topic of economics, chapter number 12, human resources. So human resources in your course means the population. It is not the human resource department of any corporate. Okay, so that is the major part of it which you will learn if any of you takes management. Okay, so far we have understood that what is the general introduction of human resources here, what is a resource and how is people they become a resource, and then we understood about the size and distribution of population in the world and where the India stands and where Rajasthan stands. Today we are going to touch base about the population growth, reasons and density of population per area. Also we will read some of the characteristics of Indian population. So let's get started. So this is the distribution of population. Yesterday I made you see this one. This is of every 100 people in the world. You can say that majority of the people they live in Asia subcontinent, and then there are less people comparatively to Asia. There are less people in Africa and Europe, and Central and South America is also fine. Northern America is also fine, but you can see that the less portion of people stay in Oceania, that is Australia and New Zealand. So Asia has the largest population, subcontinent has the largest population because it is the oldest landmass of the Gondwana land when they get distributed. When there was no continents, it was supercontinent, so it's an older landmass. So you can say that it is the area which was actually there from the ancient time. So today we are going to read about population growth, reasons and density. क्या reasons है population grow होने के और किस तरह से उसका growth हो रहा है, और density यानी घनत्व जो है वो कितना ज़्यादा है किस जगह पे. So let's begin with population growth. Population growth means the change in number of residents of a country, state or place in a particular time period. Example in 10 years, that is decade. Such change can be described in two forms. First, total growth, and second, change in percentage every year or every 10 years. So if you have been asked that what is exactly population growth, so you can say that population growth means change in number of people. So now they may be in the country, in the state or in the place of a particular time period. So we can say that in a manner of 10 years of time, how many people have actually grown to that area. That means how many persons have increased in that particular city or a state. So it can be described in two forms, like the first is the growth and second is the change of percentage every year or every 10 years. Increase or decrease in population of a particular place is directly influenced by birth rate, death rate and migration. So you know that there are three major factors of population change. One, first is obviously birth rate. What is the birth rate which is happening per year and per 10 years, or what is the death rate of the people, and migration. Migration means एक जगह से दूसरी जगह relocate करना. Now it can be country wise, it can be state wise, it can be city wise, and there are many reasons for that we will read. Okay, so the population of India, which was 361 million in 1951, has increased to 1210.6 million in 2011. So now it's again almost 10 years in 2020. So you can understand that how much it has increased again. So you can see that in 1951 we had only 361 million people, but in a manner of almost just 51 years, we have reached to 1010.6 million in 2011 itself. So that's the rate of increase in our population. Now this is a table which shows the absolute growth and the decadal growth. Now what is the absolute growth? Absolute growth means wherein you can check the number in quantity, and it is a good way to find out with the division of the 100. And decadal growth means growth in 10 years, whereas absolute population growth is you can say that it is again every year increase. So let's understand this one. In 1951, total population in 10 lakh was 361.0. Absolute population increase happened 42.43. That means per year the population has increased up to 42.43 lakh, and decadal percentage was 13.31. So if you have to find out the percentage, you can say that every year 13.31 percentage has increased up to 1951 to 1961. So in this way, if you read this particular thing, then you can find out that every year how much the increase is there, and then how it is getting this one. So herein again you have to remember 1951 is the major thing, 2001 and 2011. These are the figures they can ask, they can actually work, and they can see. So there are so many data I know, but again when it comes that which are the focus point in your study in population chapter, then you have to actually focus always in 1951 or where the table is starting and the table is ending, and the previous year before the table is ending, like here it is 2011, then 2001. So these are the figures which you have to always remember, because mostly one number question will ask about the data only. So next is, you can see population growth in India. You can see here, this is the population in crores. So 1951 you can see it was almost 30 crore like this, and 2011 it has reached to 120 million. In the same way, decadal growth, you can see there is a uprise like this. So you can see that it was increasing from 1921 to 1931, it increased, and then again it was a huge increase from 1951 to 61, 71. Then it was just at a constant till 1981. But from 1981 it is getting decreased every year. It is showing a decline from 2001. We can see that it is showing a decline. Okay, so the table and the chart shows that the growth rate of population was increasing continuously from 1951 to 1981, which I have shown you, which increased from 3,610 million in 1951 to 6,830 million in 1981, almost double in 30 years. It shows rapid growth in population, but growth rate declined gradually in 1981. So 1981 it is actually getting declined, and from 2001 it is showing a sharp decline, a sharp lowerness. Okay, there was a decline in birth rate too during this period. That means you can see that from 1970s, 60s itself, government has come with a family planning program, literacy rate, adult literacy, and they have changed the marriageable age. And then they told people about so many things, that there should be only 2 kids, and there are so many things which used to run on Doordarshan. Still now it is running. So there are these measures which actually helped, and we can see some decline now. Okay, so let's understand again one more thing. It is important to note that the population of India is huge, बहुत बड़ी population है. The present annual growth rate of India is 122 lakh persons per year, which creates enormous pressure on resources and environment, and is enough to destabilize the conversation of environment and resources. So right now, if the annual growth rate is 122 lakh persons per year, यानी इतने लाख लोग हर साल इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं, तो आप समझ सकते हैं जो हमारे ऑलरेडी वी हैव द रिसोर्सेज, उस पर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा. इट इज़ समथिंग दैट डिमांड इज ह्यूज बट द सप्लाई इज लेस. Then again the environmental degradation methods are there, environmental degradation things are there, and there are so many people, we do not have place to make people live. Then there is again agriculture is less, so it creates a pressure. So that's happening. Decline in growth rate indicates the successful efforts in controlling the birth rate. What is decline in growth rate? Birth rate. Okay, decline in population rate. So in India, since independence, such efforts are undertaken to control the population. Even after all these efforts, population is increasing continuously. This is an indication of the failure of our efforts in this direction. By 2045, India might exceed China in population and can become the country with highest population in the world. I don't think that it is going to happen in 2045. It may happen soon, because the rate we are going still, okay, it is controlled, but not controlled the way it should be, because China has actually controlled themselves from past 20 years and they are actually not increasing. But again, it is not the case with India. So I guess mostly by 2030 itself, maybe we are going to exceed China in population. So that's the thing. This is again a decadal growth rate of population in India. Here it is not much focus, but please see this one, give it a very good glance on your SST book. It is there, so you can see why I'm focusing all these things, because these are the small points they might ask. Maybe you can get a map who will say that please mark the places which is highly populated, mark the state which is highly populated. You can see Bihar, which is highly populated, it is in black. But again, the places which are less populated, you can see it is in different things. So please see it, focus on it more, and if you get any problem, please get back to me. Okay. Next is, there are three major factors for increase and change in population. We just read about it: birth rate, death rate, and migration. So difference between birth rate and death rate is called the natural increase in population. Again, a 1 mark question, that what is the natural increase in production? So difference between the birth rate and the death rate is called the natural increase. यहाँ पे जो nature से हो रहा है, हमारे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. So that's what it is, natural increase in population. Birth rate refers to number of surviving children per 1000 persons in a year. यानी पूरे साल भर में जितने बच्चे पैदा होते हैं और जितने बचते हैं living. Okay, it is not including still born child. Okay, जो बच्चे जन्म के बाद नहीं रह पाते उनका इसमें कैलकुलेशन नहीं है. ये उन बच्चों की बात आ रही है जो जन्म के बाद भी जीवित रह पाते हैं अच्छी हेल्थ में. So ऐसे जो हैं वो जो हैं surviving children, they are, so it is referred as the per 1000 persons in a year. This increase in important factor of population growth. After India's independence, birth rate has always been higher than death rate. So here is again a remarkable thing, that after the independence, the death rate was less and the increase in the population happened because of the absolute increase in the birth rate every year after independence. Again a 1 mark question over here. So what is death rate? Death rate refers to number of death per 1000 persons in a year. So death rate का सीधा हिसाब है पूरे साल भर में कितने जो persons उनकी death हुई है. Again it is calculated on per 1000. Sharp decline in death rate after independence is the major reason of population increase in India. Now what happened after independence that the death rate was less? Because what happened that after independence the struggle obviously went this one, so people did not die. Then we actually did development in the case of medicines and the medical health care, and then we actually government work of the planning programs of the 5 years, and they find out the ways to out from the famine, flood, drought, all these things. Because of all these things we checked the death rate, and the death rate was less, but we were not able to control the birth rate, hence the population increased. Okay. Third major factor of population increase is migration. यहाँ से वहाँ जाना. Movement of people from one place to another and change in their permanent residence called migration. Again a 1 number question over here, that what do you mean by migration? So movement of people from one place to another and change in their permanent residence is known as migration. So migration, you know, can be internal like within the country, or international, that is outside the country. Internal migration brings no change in the size of population, but it affects the distribution of population within a country. So उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, reason being you are only in the country, but again state population change हो जाएगा. Migration plays a very important role in changing the factors and distribution of people. As you know that after independence and due to the urbanization, more and more people started to move towards big cities for the sake of employment and all these things. Because of that, what happened, the most populous till today in India, the capitals of the country, or those who are the IT sectors of the country, are highly populated. For example, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Gurgaon, and then your Kolkata and these places, because it's a capital, it's a big city, metropolitan city, so there are huge opportunities. So people started migrating these places from villages. So this is also one of the reasons that those cities and those states got highly populated. One example I gave you. Interstate migration in India is mostly from rural to urban, because women migrate after their marriage. One important factor, women migrate after marriage. It can be city to city, it can be state to state. Okay. Secondly, people migrate from rural to urban because weakening factors are infectional in rural areas. Rural areas in India now, from some years I can say the infrastructure is good, and there are opportunities wherein people do not want, government do not want that so many people are coming in cities, so they started developing townships, towns, and they came up with the opportunities in villages. So you can see from the past 2-3 years there's migration back, like people are coming back to the roots, because now you can see in corona situation, you have seen that people can, it's not required to go to office. Some work you can work from home, so you can be anywhere in the world, or in a small village itself where you have the electricity, you have the internet connection, you can work from there. So now people and government are coming with these things wherein they do not want so many people in one place, they can be distributed evenly and work can happen. So these are the new things you can write. Even you can write these things in your question paper if you get a short note on this, because I feel that because of the corona situation this year, these factors they can ask you, and even you can write this in the measures of population growth. Okay. So poverty and unemployment are negative factors in rural areas, and employment opportunities and ambitions of good lifestyle are the attractive factors. All these you know very well, we have discussed so much in the 9th standard. Okay, so let's understand the second thing, which is the density of population. So what is density? So far if you see that these are the reasons of population growth, these are the reasons of population growth. Okay, so let's understand the density of population, ghanatva. So density of population presents unequal distribution of population and pressure on land. Density of population refers to the number of people living in per unit surface area. Almost I talked about this. It refers that how many people or how much people are residing in a particular area in per thousand. So the reason of the most populous states are UP and Bihar, because I told you yesterday that it is on Indo-Gangetic plan. It is in Ganga Yamuna plan, Ganga Yamuna valley side, which is really fertile, hence more of the population stay there. Then again, as I told you, that cities have got really good infrastructure, and those things people are migrating. So these were the reasons for the density of the population. In 2011, the density of population in India was 382 people per square kilometer. यानी per square, एक square kilometer में कितने लोग रहते हैं? 382 people. Bihar had the highest density of population of 1102 persons per square kilometer. So Bihar is so hugely populated कि वहाँ पे जो per square kilometer में more than 1000 people they stay. And Arunachal Pradesh, which is the eastern side, has the lowest density of population of only 17 persons per square kilometer. Now what is the reason for that? Because it does not support the urbanization thing, or it does not support the infrastructural things. And maybe the natural things are not very good here, maybe landslides, maybe huge rainfall, and then it is not suitable for the living beings to stay there. Hence it is 17 persons per square kilometer. So density of population, again you can see in 1901 it was just 71. You can see 1951 it is 117, the growth happened. Then it was increasing like crazy, and then 1991 267, 51%. 325, and the latest is, you have to remember, 2011 382 persons per square kilometer. With the growth decade rate, that is in 10 years, the growth has increased to 57%. So this is again one of the pic which I have taken from your map 12.3. You can see the places which are black, population is huge. Population is more than 1000 people per square kilometer. This is Bihar, West Bengal. Okay, these areas you can see. Then again the majority, you can see this dot is between 751 to 1000. This is the area of Indo-Gangetic plan, or the Yamuna Ganga river valley. Then again you can see that it is 501,750. It is between in Tamil Nadu. Okay, Tamil Nadu. Then 251 to 500 is majority. You can see this area. This is again populated. And then we have this coming population less than 250 is actually full Rajasthan, then some parts of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, these places, and again Jammu Kashmir and some parts of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, and again these places of northeastern side. So just remember that these are the huge populated states, and these are the less density places. Okay, so density of population in Assam and peninsular states is medium. Okay, so peninsular states are these thing. What is peninsula? The place, the area which is submerged, or which is just there with three sides of water, with area which is actually surrounded by three sides of water, is known as peninsula. So Assam, you can see this place is Assam, and then these parts, they have the medium range, then hilly rock areas, medium to low rainfall, less fertile soil affect the density of population. So what are the factors of density of population effect? Hilly, rocky areas, medium to low rainfall, less fertile soil are the reasons. So northern plains and Kerala in south have high density of population. Again, these places and these places. This is Kerala, this is your northern plains. High density of population due to plains, fertile soil and sufficient rainfall. Okay, density of population, again there is a chart, so many charts in this particular chapter, but again they are showing the density of Rajasthan from 2001 to 2011. So Rajasthan overall has 201 persons per square kilometer in 2011, which increased from 165. Okay, in 2001 it was 165, but in 2011 it got to 201 overall Rajasthan. So you can see that Jaipur is the mostly populated and the less populated is Jaisalmer. And where is our Jodhpur in this? Jodhpur is again on 161. So we, as per 2011 data, Jodhpur has got 161 persons per square kilometer, which obviously has increased in 2021 data, which is going to come. So what you need to remember here, you need to remember the mostly populated is Jaipur, then Bharatpur, Dausa, Alwar, Banswara. Just remember the first 5. Of course you will read everything, and then you will remember about last 5, this one, which are the sparsely populated. The next density is opposite word is sparsely populated. Okay, the density of population in Rajasthan is 201 persons per square kilometer as per 2011 census. In 2001 it was just 165. That shows the increase of 36 persons per square kilometer. So table 12.5 depicts the unequal distribution of population. This you can see, this should be 12.4, not 12.5. okay, this is 12.4. It is a mismatch over there. So here again you can see Jaipur, Dausa, Bharatpur, these are the places which are highly densely populated, and the area which is in soft pink is actually, you can see, very sparsely populated, means people reside less there. The area which is again in rose pink is actually again you can see that okay, finely populated, like Jodhpur, Nagaur, Pali, Jalore, and then Bhilwara and this. So mostly we can see that in Rajasthan actually we have very sparsely populated, as well as we have it's fine, we do not have so much densely populated like in Bihar and UP. Okay, even after continuous increase in the density of population in Rajasthan, the density of population is lower than in India. That's what they are trying to say, that Rajasthan's population has increased, but if you compare it with overall India, it is really less. There is significant inequality in density of population in districts of Rajasthan, because you can see the north and the east side and south side, east side and south side of Rajasthan has got the majority and the density of population as compared to the western side of it. Okay, why? The reason being, the western side it is more of the desert area, arid zone. Okay, according to 2011 census, the highest density of population is 598 persons per square kilometer in Jaipur district, again an important point to remember, and the lowest density of population is 17 persons per square kilometer in Jaisalmer. This you need to remember. Okay, so that's what our topic and here. So please see the charts once again, and whatever I told you, please focus. जब आप पढ़ोगे तो आपको खुद को ही पता चल जाएगा कि कौन से numbers हैं जो आपको याद रखने हैं, because इस chapter में वो numbers के question ही पूछने वाले हैं. They will ask for the data, because this chapter is focusing on the data and the statistical data and all this type of things which those who want to become economists will read about it further in their next standard. Okay, so please इसमें ये focus करें, मेजोरिटी कहाँ है, डेंसिटी कहाँ है, स्पार्शली पॉपुलेटेड क्या है, वो सारी चीज़ें, व्हाट इज़ द बर्थ रेट, डेथ रेट, माइग्रेशन. रीड अबाउट दिस थिंग्स एंड रीच आउट टू मी इन केस यू गेट एनी प्रॉब्लम, एंड आई विल मीट यू अगेन इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो. For what is today's quote? Population when unchecked increases in our geometrical ratio. Very well said by Thomas Malthus. He is saying population अगर unchecked होता है, if it is not checked properly, it increases in a geometrical ratio. इसका मतलब जो density में या जो size में बढ़ता है वो चीज़ वो कहना चाहते हैं. Okay, so that's the end of our topic today, and I'll meet you again in the next video. Till then, please take care of yourself.